Hello, my name is Peter Jenks. I'm the priest here at St. John's Church in Thomaston. There is a story of Jesus when he went back to his hometown, and he was unable to do very many miracles there because people saw him, they knew him growing up. Oh, isn't he, I know his brother, I know his sister. They all seemed to have such familiarity with him that it was hard for them to understand and see the fullness of the gift of his ministry. Oftentimes in our life we miss the things that are closest to us. I was growing up, couldn't imagine people asking my brother or sister out on a date. I know them too well. Or even when I called up a young girl, why would anyone want to go out with me? We become so familiar and know ourselves and our families so well that sometimes it's hard to get a bigger picture, understand the gift that each of us has within the community. It's also oftentimes why, because we know ourselves so well, we're so hard on ourselves, that most violence and murders are amongst family members. The most violent wars are civil wars. We're the harshest on ourselves, and becomes the most insane events once we start fighting within ourselves. This was so with Jesus. He came home and they just didn't get who he was, fully understand. He did what he could, and then he moved on and he continued his ministry, not bothered by that, but he sent out his followers and 2 by 2 around the country, and he gave them power over the unclean spirits. We are called as people of faith in this country to go out, to be part and united with others, and to have the authority over the unclean spirits. And part of this is to understand and to see that we are the children of God, living in a very divided land. And the evil spirits will want to divide us, want to insult us, want to demean people who are different than ourselves. We're called to rise above that, not to fall into the evil energies and spirits of our world, but we've been given power to rise above this. This is a power from on high, from God. Everyone in this country wants to live a safe life, have peace, have their families do well, and yet a few issues will somehow be used to funnel energies of great division. As people of faith, we need to rise above this. We are in no way to be called to advocate a political side, simply if it's to demean or look at others in a lesser way. Anyone who's doing that is being manipulated by the power of the devil. This is evil spirits that are trying to divide us. We are called into the kingdom of love. And it's important that we find that. The strength of a church is not in its numbers. It is in that it's a community of people who don't always agree with each other, but are faithful to their Lord Jesus Christ. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, conservative, liberal, high church, low church, black, white, brown, Indian, whatever it might be, Native American, we are all somehow brought together and made brothers and sisters. Where there is oppression, where there's racism or any form of discrimination or oppression, we're called to work against that, stand against that, and to do so united in a way that will make a difference, not to alienate others, but to build back the community as one. We're called to build the church back together as one, not divided amongst different denominations. Jesus prayed that we all would be one. Our call is to find ways to thread back together that which has been rent asunder, ripped apart, This is the call of the people of God. We've been given the power over the evil spirits, and there are many evil spirits in our world. There are many angels. Our focus is to be on Jesus Christ. Our focus is to be on the one who doesn't take it personally that his family members didn't appreciate who he was. By the end, they did. And they led the church. We're called to just keep the focus, be sent out, and know who sent us out, the power that's been given, and that we have been made part of this larger family of God, not defined by our race or gender or sexual orientation or where we came from or where we're going. Whether we're an immigrant, as we all are on this planet to some degree, or indigenous, as we all are on this planet, we're called as brothers and sisters. We need to find this place of unity, of support and prayer. Our strength is in our prayers. When we find ourselves joining in with divisions and divisiveness, we're not praying hard enough. We need to pray. Pray for those who differ with us and discover the blessing they have for our life. Pray for those who stand beside us, that God would bless them and strengthen them. Pray for those behind us and in front of us, that all of us would be held together. We need each other. We need each other deeply. We need each other for so many reasons now. Let us stand together. It is a blessing to be with you at this time. May God's blessings hold you and all those whom you love tightly in God's loving arms.